All right, it looks like we're live for our first producer patron roundtable. What's going on, guys? Let me make sure everything's good on the recording end. Yep, looks to be good. So today, this is going to kind of kick off one of the benefits for being a producer patron. And I realized today, there's only a handful of producer patrons today. Obviously, the plan for this is hopefully, as the Season Gaming Patreon grows, this will become more of an interactive kind of monthly thing where I sit down with you, talk to you about what's kind of coming up over the next few weeks for patrons, content, things we're going to be doing, shows, people I'm going to be speaking with. And then also, I wanted it to be kind of a thing where um, almost like an interactive show where if there's a big topic in gaming or a game everyone's playing, something like that as a community, we can just kind of chat about it. So, if you catch this later, I want it to be kind of the news and updates. But if you're catching it live, then we can obviously chat a little more about things too. But I also want to get your feedback. I want to use this to really kind of help shape what is going to come for season, not only season gaming as a whole, but also Patreon exclusive content, especially at producer level. I want to make sure that I'm hearing all of your input, things you'd like to see, suggestions for people you'd like to hear from that I can sit down with and talk to, types of content that you want to see. So today I'm basically talking to myself, but I hope you check this out later. I've got a few things to provide you updates on. First off, I just want to say thank you. When we decided to launch the Patreon, especially the way that we're doing it, which is pretty different from anything else I've seen out there, I kind of went back and forth on it for a while. And I think I said that in the intro video to the Patreon itself. But it's different, right? Season Gaming is an outlet that, being non-monetized, our biggest question when I talk to the crew is always around, okay, how are we producing content? What type of content are we producing? And how, for me as the owner of the site, how am I incentivizing our creators to feel like they can put good content out? And that's really what the Patreon's about. But obviously, a lot of the exclusive content from Patreon is going to be on the channel. And so it's kind of this parallel thing of, growing the channel and providing exclusive content while at the same time that funneling into maintaining the site and providing more written content as well, reviews, articles, opinions, those types of things. So you're going to see some additional, first of all, you're going to see kind of more news updates, things you might not have seen previously on Season Gaming. So, there's multiple days now where we're putting, 4, 5, 6 things up in a day. And it might be things that you may not have noticed otherwise, trying to look into the cracks, if you will, and find things other than just the obvious, like here's the new trailer for this AAA game. Second, I think you'll start to see more opinion articles and things of that nature. So I was talking to Steve actually this morning about a series he's going to start writing on some narrative aspects of AAA games. And I think stuff like that's going to be really interesting because we have some very unique people at the site and some really, really good writers. So anyway, that's a long-winded way to say, again, just thank you for signing up to be a patron. It's I know obviously with all the subscriptions nowadays and the Netflixes, the Game Passes, the Primes and all that stuff, there's a lot of monthly money going out. So you choosing to spend money to support our site and support the content is huge. I always say thank you for that. Now, you hopefully noticed or hopefully watched and enjoyed the interview I did with Colin Moriarty. Obviously a very big name in the gaming industry. He's been around a long time. And I wanted to kick it off with him because, two reasons really is that he is one of the first people who put the bug in my ear about Patreon and allowing kind of the supportive community to help mold the site, if you will, in our content. So I thanked him for that and wanted to talk to him about that. And I thought it would just be kind of fitting for him to be the first person I speak to for this new series called Open Conversations. But also, I think that he can be polarizing, as I think he's not, he's fully aware of, and many of us are fully aware of it. And I'll admit openly, and I've told him this, is that, I've seen a lot of things him post or say that I don't agree with. But I thought it was important to show that, especially in the gaming industry, when we're talking about something as simple as games that are meant to be fun and to bring people together, that it's okay to have differing opinions and to sit down and talk about it. Not everything's amazing or trash. Not everything has to be X and Y or blue versus green and all this ridiculous stuff that we kind of push back against at SG. So I thought it was just a kind of a fitting conversation. So I hope you enjoyed it. As to what's to come there with those conversations, that's kind of what I hope to do, at least one of those a month, where it is a conversation with someone in the industry that is kind of bigger than just say a guest on a show or something like that. Someone who really kind of drives content, has a meaningful role in the industry, can provide some insight that you won't see anywhere else. And even though Colin obviously has his own show and is very open, I was proud that he said, he was really opening up in our conversation and talking about things that he normally doesn't talk about. So that's kind of the goal there, is one of the exclusive things for supporter and producer tier patrons that I hope you like. Obviously, with scheduling and the number of people and all the shows we do and everything like that, if there's if a month goes where we can't get a specific person to come on, you'll see other things in place of that. I was talking about deep dives on topics, really going into the details on some things of something specific in the gaming industry. And we've got a few things lined up there as well. So just stay tuned. There's some cool things in the works over the next few weeks. And I'm hoping that in February, I get to speak with the one person I'm going back and forth with right now, because it's a pretty big name in the industry. And I think he would provide some really cool insight that would be unique. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we can line that up. I teased earlier this week a thing called For the Record. It's going to be another new series on the channel. This is something, again, that's been in the works for a little while now. We just didn't know the proper kind of way in which to launch it. And it just worked out that Patreon is the perfect avenue for that. So this is going to be a timed exclusive thing. So this is for all patron tiers. And when we put this up, it's going to be myself and Carl Dwyer, who, if you don't know Carl from SG, he is one of the kind of, and this is meant in the nicest way possible, but he's one of the nerdiest and techiest guys I know. He loves diving into the details. He knows kind of really, really the core foundation of how things work. A lot of things with these gaming consoles and games and technology behind them. Not so much how the games are made, but the technology driving them. And so For the Record is going to be a new series that where we basically pick one topic. It's about we're aiming for maybe 12 to 15 minute episodes where we drill down and really explain the ins and outs of something beyond what you've heard across standard media, or, of course, goes without saying, all the nonsense you hear from some people who want to push a narrative. So, for instance, our first episode, just to give you a further sneak peek, is going to be around the SSDs in the new consoles, their speeds, the I/O speeds, and decompression rates. So our key is to talk about things that are really tech, kind of the nitty-gritty of the tech, but to obviously bring them up to a higher level to where anyone can really understand it and kind of just have a better idea of how these things are designed and why, rather than just saying this console is more powerful because of X, and the kind of surface level arguments that take place. We wanted to kind of dive in and really show you a little more of why things are designed the way they are. And there's few people I know better than Carl to do that. So he's really going to kind of be driving the tech sense of it. I'm going to be driving more of the surface level, the conversation, those types of things. So we hope you like it. Like I said, it's been something we've been dabbling with for a while. We hope to debut that first episode probably midweek, I would say. So just stay tuned for that. Obviously, as with everything we do here, very, very open to feedback. And, just let us know what you think. So we hope to do those every so often. We've got a few topics lined up already that we're going to be talking about. So you should see them pretty regularly, at least in the short term. So wanted to talk to everyone about what you want to see. So as we kind of map out content for the site, content for the channel, and content specific for patrons like yourselves, especially producer tier patrons like yourselves, we're really trying to map out what that looks like in terms of content. What do you like to see? Do you like the one-on-one interviews? Do you like will you like For the Record? Obviously, you haven't seen it yet, but, will you like that? Do you like kind of those deep dive techie things? Do you want us to have deep dives on kind of topics that are kind of at the top of mind. For instance, Xbox and Activision, was obviously a huge one last week, though I thought we did a really good job kind of diving into that with Richard Hogue on our Bitcast. We're trying to just kind of think about, what other types of things you'd really like to see that you don't get anywhere else. Obviously, like I said, there's a ton of channels out there, a ton of shows, all talking about a number of things. And we really want to bring unique content that's meaningful, not argumentative. We've talked about it a million times, not that kind of stuff. We want to bring things that are meaningful and give you some insight to the industry. So my favorite way to do that has always been to talk with people in the industry or who create content, again, meaningful content. And so that's going to be a huge focus for me. So I hope you enjoy that. Please let me know if for some reason you don't. But let me know what you'd like to hear or see. And we could obviously work on that and add to what's coming in the future. The whole goal of the Patreon, especially again at this tier, is to allow you to basically let us know what you'd like to see and to help shape the future of season gaming. The whole point of season gaming from the start was to bring the community back to the gaming community, to bring good people together who don't care about platforms, don't care about your preferences, don't care who or what you are, just that love gaming, games, and want to talk about all aspects of the gaming industry and games. So the more we can do that as a group, as kind of a community, season gaming community, the happier I'm going to be. So yeah, I think that's what it's all about. Lastly, the last thing I want to touch on really is just the Discord. So we're going to be doing these once a month, and as I said, hopefully, if this continues to grow, we hope this will become more interactive. But just for this first kind of update, don't forget that all patrons get access to Discord. We have Discord unique channels for patrons that only yourselves and the SG staff have access to. So if you ever want to ask us about something, you can talk to us about reviews, talk to us about articles. You can talk to us about games we're playing. If you want to obviously interact amongst yourselves, the SG crew is just happy to talk about anything you want to talk about. So make sure you're using that. If you want if you haven't been flagged with the patron role yet in our Discord server, if I missed you somehow, just let me know. Shoot me a message on Patreon, DM me on Twitter. I'm always around. You can reach me. But look forward to talking to you on a more consistent basis there, rather than just Twitter interactions or these videos. And then lastly, there was one more thing I wanted to mention, which is, for anything that's not live, this is a live video, so obviously, we're not editing it afterwards. But for things like For the Record, for the conversations that are coming up, things like that, I'm going to be putting in a page at the end, thanking all of our patrons, of course. And just let me know if the name you want displayed on that thank you page on our videos is different from what you have in Patreon, what you have on Twitter, etc. Because I know, like Chris, for example, it's just Chris. And if you just want Chris, it's fine. But if you want a different name displayed, all you have to do is let us know. And, we're kind of modifying that as we speak. So I think that's it. No one joining live today. I didn't really expect it. I know it was kind of late scheduled. It's in the middle of the day on a Saturday. So that's kind of another thing, is if there's a specific time where it would be easier for any of you to kind of interact on this monthly roundtable, it's a live show, let us know. Obviously, I have the Bitcast on Sunday mornings. Usually weekends are kind of better for people, but they don't have to be. This can really be any day of the week. And I don't expect these to be ultra long. So if there's a time or day that works better for you, or you'd like to see these so that you can partake, again, just let me know. I feel like I've said let me know about 100 times. So it is really just all about feedback. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to post on Patreon, please. I mean, as you said, community. So feel free to just post some comments and let us know, man, about anything that anything you'd like to see, anything that you have ideas on, anything that we could do better. Very, very open to it. So with that, I think that's going to about wrap us up. That's all the topics I had for today, unless anyone brought anything up. Obviously, no one has. So I will put this out there. Again, this is only for, this is an unlisted video just for producer tier patrons. We'll do this once a month. And stay tuned for the first episode of For the Record coming this week. And like I said, hopefully another really, really cool interview coming in the next couple of weeks. So more to come for sure. Till then, talk to you.